Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching Batwoman Season 1, Episode 13, Drink Me. I am still recovering from the end of the last episode. It was something that we could all see coming, but it was still very tragic, and I'm very intrigued about how much it's going to affect things going forward, and obviously massively, but in terms of emotions, I mean, for Kate, I doubt she'd fully accepted that Beth was real. I doubt she'd fully processed it and kind of begun to believe that she could keep this Beth. Obviously, she'd begun to believe that, and so losing her, it's almost like losing a dream, losing something that you had temporarily. So if they don't show her having any effect, I won't find that realistic, but I'm very intrigued to kind of see how well she's going to cope with that. But on top of losing this wonderful person who is a sister she always should have had and could have had, she knows that she made the choice to abandon Alice again. Now, if anyone disagrees with that choice, they are wrong. Alice is a serial killer, she's remorseless, she's given her so many chances, and yet she always spurns them and kills and kills and kills. So I don't think any right-minded person would disagree with that choice, but it's still a pretty brutal thing, and she had felt her sister die in her arms, and then it failed, and she's going to find out. And then, you know, Alice woke up and Beth is dead, and that is tragic. And is she going to think it was Sophie, or is she going to very quickly realise it wasn't the crows and it was someone else? But obviously they're going to need to figure out that Mouse's dad is around and everything going on there, and if Mouse's dad becomes the enemy, maybe they'll end up working with Alice, given that she hates him too, although she obviously is going to hate Kate at the moment because Kate let her die. So yeah, that was a really, really traumatic episode, and I'm actually quite scared to watch this one. And the title of Drink Me is very Alice in Wonderlandy, but it doesn't give away much. So yeah, let's go. You're probably going to get murdered. Don't look so happy. A vampire? Is she really a vampire? Does she think she's a vampire? I doubt there's vampires, but what's going on? All in a night's work. I hate how long it takes to drain the body of blood. So frustrating. Oh.
Wasn't supposed to be Beth.
We did everything right.
Okay.
She came out of nowhere. Look, we need to figure out who shot her.
I agree. The crows think that she's dead, and she's not, which means no one's out looking for her.
They should phone the crows and say, by the way, Alice is alive.
I looked her in the eye and told her I chose to save someone else.
At least she was honest and had the nerve to go to her. And it was the right thing, Kate.
The wrong Beth lived.
Oh.
How does it feel to be exonerated?
Okay, good. I mean, I don't particularly like Jacob Kane, but I am glad that he's not going to prison for a crime he didn't commit. That's Beth. That's a daughter you should have had.
Where'd you get this?
Took it off Beth. After it.
Thank you.
Something to remember the nice Best Buy.
Not only did we let an innocent girl die, but I can't even.
You didn't let her die, sweetheart.
A vampire.
Wannabe vampire.
What about curse?
Some secret.
Invite only.
Oh, Luke, I'm with you, okay? Who'd want to know about stupid parties?
I've always wanted to slay a vampire.
But yeah, but she attacks people in like hotel rooms or rooms, right? Oh dear. Nope, she'll do it anywhere.
Vampire? Bat? Screams duo to me.
It's funny because she was a vampire in the Vampire Diaries, briefly. Gross! Oh dear. Luke, do something. This is too much to be happening at the beginning of an episode. Someone do something. Sophie's gonna untie her and not unmask her. What are the other crows gonna make of that?
You don't seem like you have the flu.
I've been pulling
Cough into your elbow and social distance.
And it's like
Wash your hands.
No, you can tell me anything?
I really, really need Mary to find out about Batwoman. I love Mary.
You understand that you can't erase forever altering the dynamic between you and your twin.
Thanks, Mary. I love this relationship.
Beth deserved to live.
She did.
Do not think that there is not one single minute that goes by that I'm not remembering her. Learn about zoning laws sober. Thank you.
Mary should figure it out soon, or at least be told.
Did we just lure a vampire to us using a bar full of walking blood bags?
Yes.
Theoretically, yes. Technically, no. Wow.
What?
Sophie?
Wow.
I love their friendship so much.
She drugged Batwoman last night, nearly killed her.
I didn't hear that.
Mary's gonna figure it out if she keeps hearing things like that. Drugged Batwoman, ketamine in her system.
Al, Sophie.
Completely blanking Mary is rude. I mean, Mary is cool there, but
Dark hair, a restaurant.
not her.
Veterinary medicine.
Because I saw the actress's name come up in the credits. And she's from the Vampire Diaries season 1.
Well, she's
The one talking to
the
Sophie.
one all over.
It's not case closed. I mean, I know they have zero way of knowing that, but
Coming to find you. We were able to grab the news about what's on here.
Sophie freeing Batwoman.
No one is that funny.
She seems to be a little funny. We can either sit here and make a reaction video, or you can go out there and figure out who else can. Is Sophie doing the nervous napkin fold? Ooh, smiling.
Luke, you are stirring the pot.
You are never leaving the Batcave again.
Oh dear.
Mary.
Kate.
What?
No, not you, Kate. I'm talking to Mary.
Why are you talking to Kate? I thought you were her real estate assistant.
Associate.
With a hidden earpiece.
Yeah, Luke, you are really bad at this. Mary, figure it out. Please, please, please.
Kate.
So strange.
Figure it out, please, sweetheart.
Kate, we have a club full of innocent people.
I said I got it.
She just wants to talk to Kate, I think. I mean, angrily.
Where is he?
No, she thinks she has a mouse.
We should talk about what happened.
I mean, if you are rational people, you really should, but...
I mean nothing to you.
Sweetheart, how about the crying, you know,
You
showed how much you do
had a
mean?
chance to save me, and you didn't take it.
She did, actually. She tried to save Beth. You've replaced Beth.
Beth, what? She was you.
The part that she wants to save in
Passionate,
you.
good version of you.
Exactly, Alice.
Version of you I thought you could be.
That you showed you couldn't be. Alice? Matt Mouse isn't here.
Did I?
Actually, you didn't let her in your head because you didn't change. You kept killing people, which is why she let you die. She let Alice die. She saved Beth, which she tried to do in you a long time ago.
You're right.
We gonna talk about this?
Right now, you should stay on mission. Talk about it tomorrow. Nocturna. I keep going to call her Fortuna. That's her. Recognise the actress.
That's how you.
Who's she sending her after?
Fortunately, I've been a little tied up.
She knows exactly where she's gone.
Have a good night.
Mary. Oh dear. Sweetie, Mary's in trouble now. You need to move. Was Luke still monitoring the cameras? She didn't take the blood.
Why did she be dead?
I mean, if I was for knocking on a bloody Fortuna Nocturna, I'd have drained Alice and then gone after Mary. Kept all the blood.
You did it.
How much blood is gone? Oh my god, behind you! Oh my goodness! Alice is helping? No. Or is she? What's happening?
Day. Should be enough to get her.
Why is Alice helping?
Look at her. It's me or nothing. Go.
I mean, I'm loving this, but this is not expected. If this was this actually going to be some kind of a wake-up call for Alice? Ah,
And I thought Batwoman could help.
Help us?
yeah.
Have any idea what?
We could use the help. Look,
You
while we're
really
putting together
could.
practical-
Enough!
Maybe Jekyll Campbell's better off in prison.
Maybe take some time to think it over.
Men.
How are you doing?
I think I'm on a sugar high.
I'm glad Mary's okay.
To mention, the idea of Batwoman going into a C-store to buy me cookies is semi-priceless.
Do you know why Nocturna targeted you?
She said
Alice.
the blood
I mean, Alice
from the
then saved
desert
her.
rose could cure her condition.
Later.
What is Alice's game plan? I'm loving it, but
Got here.
What's the end game, Alice?
she might feel guilty. Doesn't mean it was the wrong choice.
Prove to you how stupid you were for letting me die.
Sweetie, the other Beth would have been wonderful.
Stupid. Was thinking that my sister was redeemable. Stupid. Was convincing the crows
Yep.
to kill you. Was thinking that you could ever
They needed to have this moment.
be worth it.
So this is Alice needs to make a difference and change or become a villain through and through. I mean, she is a villain through and through, but you know what I
Maybe want
mean.
you to give up on me.
Then you need to make an effort. Can't just be one-sided, can it? Alice, Beth. Come on, Beth, break through.
And dental implants.
What's she figuring out? Batwoman?
Ketamine. You have special
Yes.
K in your blood.
Yes, and she said Batwoman was injected. Mary, please. Please, please, please.
You broke Batwoman last night.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. I need this. Mm-hmm. Yes!
You are totally Batwoman.
I'm so ready for this! It's like they're breaking up. Their chemistry and like feelings are bleeding through into this one, which is kind of weird given that she doesn't know that they have a history. I mean, for Kate, this is especially messed up. For Sophie, she doesn't know she feels this attraction, which hopefully will help Kate see that Sophie's still into her in real life. Also seems like Sophie's figuring out that who she is in terms of her sexuality, and she's getting better with it. Okay, that was another brilliant episode. I loved all the drama between Kate and Alice, and I think in a way, maybe we needed the Beth thing, as much as I'm still really sad that they gave us Beth like 2 episodes and then took her away again. So that Alice, you know, it's kind of up to Alice now. I mean, like she said at the end, she kind of went through all her anger and guilt tripping, but I don't want you to give up on me. And okay, sure, this is it. You've seen, Kate had said, I tried and I tried and I tried, and you didn't change. And then there was the Beth who was everything you could be, and I chose her. Of course I chose her. And the fact that even though Kate isn't completely denying that she feels some guilt, she's like, yeah, I did that. I made the choice. My choice was correct, because it was. I hope for Alice's sake she can. I think it's hard because she's a brilliant villain, do not get me wrong, but these sorts of shows don't work if villains linger beyond 1 season, really. You know, Diaz was around for the longest time and he was such an ineffectual villain, which is weird given how much the actor, you know, he's a really good actor, but I hated Diaz and Arrow. Whereas Alice I love, and obviously I know that, you know, she's such an interesting dynamic, but, you know, if we get into this point in season 2 and she's still the villain, it's going to get old fast. Whereas if she becomes a sort of weirdly redeemed person, you're going to have there's so much more story to be told there with potentially, I mean, I'm getting very ahead of myself here, but you know, it's how far do you trust Alice? Can they work with Alice? You know, Mary having to get back on board with her, Luke having to get back on board with her, what her relationship with Kate would be. Would she always have to be someone on the side that helped them out and then run away again? Could she ever be fully accepted by people like Mary? What about Jacob and all that kind of stuff? Like, I think it's a much more interesting story. In the long term, we work on building Alice to Beth again would be much more interesting than if she's just a villain who gets written out. And I think she's such a big part of this show that if they ever wrote her out, I wouldn't like that. So I'm very intrigued about this and loving it. It was funny to see Kayla Ewell, I can't say her name, I saw it come up. I didn't recognise her right at the beginning, but I saw her name come up, and I love the Vampire Diaries, so I know all the actors and actresses' names, especially from the beginning. And you know, she was Vicky Donovan, a vampire, spent some time in a bell tower towards the end there as well, a vampire, so it's quite funny that she was in this playing someone that was pretending to be a vampire. But yeah, I enjoyed her sort of subplot, although I liked that it didn't take away from the greater plot with Alice and Mary and all the developments we had going on. It actually kind of just enhanced those and enabled their stories to play out a bit more. It was another really good episode, and I just love the dynamics and everything. And this episode I really began to feel like Mary might guess. Obviously she did, because the pieces were being set in place for her to figure it out, and the fact that she did, I'm so excited. I kind of hope it's not a scenario where Kate manages to convince her she's not Batwoman like she did with Sophie, but I think Mary is someone that is an asset to the team with her medical knowledge, her sort of Instagram following, I don't know, like her street smarts in a way that like kind of, she's a really, really useful person to have on the team, and she had like she's been helping them out in a way without being part of the team. So I would love that if she was part of the team, and I'd love to see more of her and Kate's relationship. I think that would be a really brilliant way for that to develop. In the same way, I would love to see more of her and Luke's friendship. They're a lot of fun together. And you know, I spot the tiniest little bit of this episode of me being like, I could ship that. And I was like, I should not be doing this. Stop it, Joy. CW shows like to hurt you. But that was a lot. So I'm so excited to see the next, like I'm desperate to watch the next episode now, specifically for Mary. Mary and Kate are my 2 favourite characters. I love Alice, she's brilliant, and I love Luke, but Mary and Kate are my 2 favourites, and I love Sophie. And yeah, so Sophie, I mean, she's someone I love, but I feel like she doesn't know who she is right now, so it's hard as a viewer to have a real sense of who she is, to have her be a favourite character or something. I mean, obviously I think for some people they might be able to reflect and see their own personal like journey in Sophie, in which case that would help them have her as their favourite character. I think the person she could become, or the person she really is inside, is someone I'm gonna love, but she needs to come to terms with that. And I mean, I loved her working with Batwoman. I think it was very clear that there was sexual tension between them when she was setting her free, and it's interesting because obviously I'm glad that they're not going to keep working together in a way, because if they kept working together and kept doing things like kissing, given that they're exes in reality, that would be quite an awkward scenario, whereas obviously for Kate, that's just going to mess her up even more because she is not over Sophie and they are in-game. But, you know, having that happen and knowing that Sophie is accepting that she is, you know, at least bisexual. I still don't know whether we're meant to think Sophie's bisexual, pansexual, or whether she is a lesbian who was trying to force herself into a straight relationship. I don't think Sophie's maybe fully aware of that either. But I'm so enjoying watching her discover herself. I kind of hope by the end of the season she's quite fixed on who she is. And I don't know, I mean, it's quite standard throughout these shows that the Flash is like the exception, but where the police are kind of often, Flash and Supergirl, but in Arrow, you know, you had the police force being like pro-Arrow, against Arrow, pro-Arrow, against Arrow, kind of. So at the moment the Crows hate Batwoman, but you know, she's helping. They did not catch Nocturna. I literally was going to go off the tune when I thought myself. They didn't catch her. Batwoman did. So I think working with her wouldn't be a bad thing. And it's not like Batwoman tried to take the glory and, you know, chained her to the police station with a bat symbol stuck to her. You know, she just phoned Sophie and was like, oh, come get your person. So then the Crows could be like, we've arrested Fortuna. Nocturna, oh my god, what is wrong with me? So, I don't know, I think Jacob is just being a bit of that kind of arrogant white man, or arrogant man who's like, oh, I'm the powerful one, I'm in control, no one can be better than me, rather than just being like, oh yeah, I could work with this woman. It makes you wonder whether he's not slightly homophobic as well. I mean, obviously Kate is out, but he did convince Sophie to break up with her and to deny it to keep her job and everything. He could have just said, oh, you know, I'm building the Crows and there will be a place for you there, even if you don't graduate this academy, you'll be fine. And he didn't. He said, oh yeah, you should distance yourself from Kate. So is he not fully okay with Kate being out and Kate being gay, but is he kind of just being okay with it to a degree because she's the only daughter he has left? So yeah, I think Sophie, I'm really enjoying her more than I was right at the beginning of the series. And I'm intrigued to see where she's going to go, and I'm kind of hopeful now that it's going to be a direction that we like. I mean, I think even though she's with the Crows, I think she might do subtle things to try and help Batwoman, but at the same time, I do think, like she said, if she specifically finds her tied up again, she will have to turn her in. Maybe not if she unmasks her, sees it's Kate, then maybe she would let her go. But, oh, so the stuff with Beth and with Alice, I just kind of feel like I've gone in like a loop, but when she came back to help Mary, I was so confused. I loved it. It was something I would love to see them being able to work up and team up. And I mean, we saw in the last episode when she was trying to beg Mary to save her, she was like, I saved your life. And it's like, Alice, you were the one that put it in danger and killed her mother. Yeah, I mean, that is almost the thing that makes you feel like maybe they could never redeem Alice, because how would Mary ever be okay with that? But Mary is a wonderful, good person. I don't know, it was a lot when Alice came and was helping and Kate had to trust her. And obviously, like she said, you know, Mary's dying anyway, so all I can do is kill her a bit more than she's already dead. But I don't know, I really enjoyed that little moment. And then at the end, Alice saying, I don't want you to. I just really hope that's going to turn into something of a plotline that's not just Alice spiralling and spiralling and spiralling as a villain, which is where I thought we might be going after what happened with Beth. It would be a lot more interesting to me if we start to see Alice struggling a little bit, and, you know, maybe realising that it's not Kate getting in her head, it's her being in her head, it's her wanting Kate to love her, it's Beth, it's the fact that there is still Beth in there. I cannot wait to see where this is going to go. Then we also have the fact that Alice now knows about the Mouse's dad is around, the Mouse's dad has Mouse, the rest of them don't know who killed Beth yet. Also, the fact that the city, the Crows, everyone else thinks Alice is dead. So she is obviously just biding her time, just lurking in the shadows. People are not too bothered. Like, you know, she's currently under the radar. So kind of like Kate was saying at the beginning, in a way she could just leave and go and try and have a normal life and not be Alice, you know. Get her hair back to a more natural colour, or at least a different style, move to Metropolis and have a life. And she doesn't have to be a villain anymore. So I don't know. I'm just so intrigued to see where the show is going to go. I still feel like we could go anywhere, and I'm so excited to see Mary confronting Kate, helping Batwoman. Or is she not going to confront her? Is she just going to keep her knowledge close to her chest and just make little comments, or just kind of be very observant and help her out subtly or something? I'm really excited to see where it's going to go. I love Mary and Kate. They're like sibling dynamic that isn't quite there, but is. I love it. So this was a brilliant episode as always. I love this series already. I hope we get, you know, at least 8 seasons of Batwoman. Thank you for watching.